to the Living Outrageously podcast. This is the show where we teach you how to stop living a boring life and start living outrageously. My name's Dave Thompson. That is Matt the freaking man Kelly, and this is a show for passionate, creative, and intelligent people who want to step up and make their dent in the universe. Matt the freaking Kelly, impossible is an opinion. Dude, I just love that thing that's going on behind you. What is it?
That is the one of the default screensavers on the Mac operating system. So, very fortunate to have some pretty good technology around me, which makes podcasting much easier. Much easier.
Awesome, man. Did you know that I'm freezing here in Melbourne?
Can I tell you? So right now, San Francisco, I can tell you that summer in San Francisco is colder than everyone even compares it to winter, right? So you go like winter, and then you come out of winter around Christmas time, and it gets warmer, and then it gets colder again into summer. So seriously, it's this crazy thing, something to do with the fog, because San Francisco is known for the fog, right? The fog comes in, this combination of heat from the desert and the cold wind off the ocean has this awesome fog effect, but freaking cold.
Wow.
Cold. Yeah.
So what you're telling me is that even though it's summertime, it's cold?
Yes. I'm wearing a hoodie. It is literally summertime and it is cold.
Well, there you go, Matt the freaking Kelly. Awesome, dude.
Lessons that we all need to learn, right? Dave.
I know.
Here's one for you, because this is I know it makes no sense. I am still trying to understand it myself. But what I do understand is the outrageous epicness of the Samurai Lounge.
Oh, man. Isn't it something to behold? This is a community of like-minded people, and we bang on about it all the time, but that's because it's the frickin' bomb giggity, Matt Kelly.
It is. It literally is. I feel like I want to abandon all my real-life friends and just hang out in the Samurai Lounge. I want to have a real-life Samurai Lounge. I want us to go on tour. All the samurai come together and have an epic Samurai Lounge adventure.
Matt Kelly, how would it be if 4 times a year the samurai gathered in exotic, awesome locations for business and living outrageously?
Take my money. Take my money now.
Visa or MasterCard, baby?
Oh, I will give you both. I don't care. I'm pretty sure the samurai would agree. I think we have to arrange this. I think this is a future, conference.
That's exactly it, Matt Kelly, because stuff is blowing up in there. It's not going to be long before the first marriage in the Samurai Lounge happens. Not that I'm saying anyone's got together, but it's going to happen. I can see that happening.
Ooh, I like that. That's cool.
Already we've got business connections, you know. Everyone's connecting over business. Everyone's connecting over fun stuff like food as well.
Yep.
But it's not going to be long before relationships are found in there. I'm like, ooh.
Jeez. I like it. This is gonna be pretty fun to watch.
High value, Matt Kelly. So if people are watching this episode and you're not in the Samurai Lounge yet, at the moment you can access it by going to the website. So go to the website, livingoutrageously.com. If you can't get in there, then look somewhere else. But I think
it's too late, Dave, if you can't get in then. Sorry.
Yeah. So get in there now.
Do it now.
Act immediately. So, all right, dude, maybe we should get down to the business today about what we're actually talking about, because this is pretty exciting. Let's quickly recap last week, or whenever it was, the last episode.
Last week, yeah.
The last one, right? We were talking about, all right, if you're sitting on the fence, we talked about how to make a decision to get off the fence and start to live outrageously.
Yeah. All about backing yourself, yeah.
Backing yourself, you got it. Now that you're off the fence, and you're in the jungle, it's time to stand for something. What do you stand for? What are you going to pull your samurai sword out and take down? Because the contrast is, if you're beige, right, meaning what do you want, and your answer is, the lions, tigers, and bears in the big, bad jungle, they're going to eat you up.
Right. You're vanilla.
You're vanilla!
I don't even know what that means, but it lands right.
It lands right. You're beige. You're vanilla. It's so important to stand for something, and there's so many benefits of standing for something,
Right.
Matt Kelly. The biggest one is that when you go to market, or when you go out, so if you're in business, when you go to market, or if you're just like, I don't want to be in business, I'm just like hanging out. When you go into the big wide world and meet people, it's like having a sign, right? A sign that says, this is what I stand for, right? Beyond 100% pure coconut water. This is what I stand for. And you carry this sign around, and then other people can go, ah, yeah. I like that idea. I believe that too. Oh, and then they like look on the other side of the sign. I believe that as well. Ah, it's the ultimate opt-in, opt-out, Matt Kelly.
We're talking about like identity branding here, Dave. It doesn't matter. Like it applies massively to business, but really it applies to just you understanding who you are and you being able to market yourself and brand yourself, so that when you are talking to people, they get you and you get them.
That's right. Have you ever met someone where at the end of it, like you might be out at a day, and at the end of the day, you're like, wow, that person really stood out for me. And for good reasons too.
Right.
Like, I really got a sense of that person's values and their beliefs and what they're into. I got a real strong, they had this aura.
Right.
This presence in the room. Like, it was so obvious what they stood for. Whereas, I'm sure you've had days, I heard this great quote the other day. I was chatting with this CEO of a fitness company that's massive in Australia, right? And she says, Dave, I was at this meeting and I kind of felt like, you know those times when you go to a party and you just really want to go home because everyone's just lame and boring?
Right.
That's what I felt like at this meeting, because no one would stand for something. No one would go, boom!
Yeah.
This is what it's about. No one did that, so she wanted to leave. And does she remember any of those people? No. How are we doing, Matt Kelly?
I love it, Dave. I love it. Like, I suppose the big part here for me is that when you know what you stand for, that even empowers your decision making. It empowers your journey. You know what you're fighting for. You know what you're working towards. That's where this matters. Because when I'm standing in a room with people and I'm going after X, and some of them are going after similar things to me, but others going after things totally different, it helps me, it enables me to be able to tell that story and explain why I'm going there and what I'm going there for. And guess what? When you hit that mark, when you're with those people and you've got your tribe, that's what it's about, man. When everyone's working together to help you all move to one cohesive point. And I can honestly say with complete certainty that if you don't go through this process, if you cannot brand yourself, then you will not have that tribe and you will not ultimately get to the point you want to get to.
Which means, Matt Kelly, that you'll be stuck in a tribe that you don't like.
Right.
Which will make you probably fairly pissed off.
You won't be enjoying life.
How are we doing?
That sounds simple.
The benefits are enormous, okay? If you take a sign to market and say, this is what I stand for, this is my ideal client, you can either opt in or opt out. The people that opt out will be like, no, I do not want that. The people that opt in, right, the people that opt out will probably be freaked out, right? And if you're getting that, that is a good thing. Because you're probably going to be getting people who are just as equally on the other end of the scale, equally passionate about what you're talking about. Case in point, Matt Kelly, how many, you watch the start of the Living Outrageously podcast, season 1, episode 1, or just pick a random episode in season 2, whatever. That is the ultimate opt-in, opt-out.
Right.
Isn't it?
And it's intentionally so.
It is. It is. You see that, you're either like, those guys are just whacked.
Yeah.
And you're out. And you're out. Or, and you never come back and you never see us again. Awesome. Great. We don't want those people in the Samurai Lounge. We don't want those people in our community, because if they were, they would be a pain in the ass. And if they ever wanted coaching, or they ever wanted like a product that, was part of the LOP or whatever, they would complain and they would want to, returns, and there'd be chargebacks, and there'd be admin, and there'd be questions. It'd just be a pain in the ring.
Right.
But on the other hand, when they opt in, look at the amazingness in the Samurai Lounge.
There isn't one average person there.
No. They're all amazing, amazing people. And dude, I look at the clients that I'm working with at the moment, right? And all right, so one of them next weekend, I'm going to Sydney and we're seeing the Dalai Lama.
That is ridiculous.
We are seeing the Dalai Lama speak. I'm doing this with my client, right?
Yeah.
She's paying me.
Yeah.
Right, we're doing this exact sort of work, branding, negotiation, and create. What do you stand for? We're going to see the Dalai Lama. A couple of weeks after that, she's got hot air ballooning tickets for us. Hot air ballooning, Matt Kelly. That sounds outrageous.
It is outrageous.
Dude, you've made a stand. This is what I stand for, and now you've got a chef that's cooking you like kale.
That's true. Goodies. That is true. I do have a chef that cooks me kale. That is very true. Amongst other amazing... Half the time, he serves epic vegetables, and I don't even know what they are. That's how it is.
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. The benefits of standing for something are so big. You can market to your ideal client way quicker. Right? You get certainty in knowing what you stand for. You attract people who are like-minded. You have so much fun. It's so profitable. It's easy to connect with them. They love your service and you love them. Dude, man, that's winning.
This is it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's create the manifesto. Let's go through the process. I'm so pumped.
Okay. Awesome. And then we'll just vary this a little from what we planned before this episode. So while we go through the process, we'll touch on some of the biggest fears that samurai have and some of the biggest sticking points in getting to this point of what do I stand for. Because it's easy for us to say, you've got to stand for something. But I can just hear, if you're watching this right now, you might be thinking to yourself, like, oh, but what about this? You know, what about my family? What about my current friends? Well, what do I do about that? We're going to answer those questions throughout the process. Matt Kelly, I'm pumped for this.
Let's do it.
Are we ready to rock?
I'm ready.
Okay, so what are we talking about here? We're talking about personal branding, company branding. But above everything else, Matt Kelly, we're talking about having an idea and leaving a legacy that contributes to the world.
That's it.
Cool.
So here's my question: who doesn't want to leave a legacy? Like who?
Well, We'll listen to the start of the LOP for those people who want to leave a dent in the universe. If that's not you, get out.
They've already opted out. Like they're not the people who will be continuing to watch. They won't have watched past episodes, and they will have already opted out.
Yeah.
So if you're here, this applies to you.
Yeah. Boom. I'm happy about that, Matt Kelly. I'm happy that person opted out. I wish them well, and I'm really happy they opted out. Are you happy they opted out?
I'm happy, and when they're ready, that's cool. We can have that conversation. But until then, they need to go on their own journey, and I'm totally happy with that.
Wicked. Okay, let's get down to the freaking business.
Let's do it.
Let's get down to the business. Okay, so how do you work out what you stand for, and how do you really get this process going? So you've jumped off the fence, and now you're like, okay, I've got to stand for something. How do we make that happen? First step, Matt Kelly. First step, get out a big piece of paper and a big pen and write down every single belief and value and what's important to you and sayings. Everything. And make it really personal.
And here's a trick, Dave. If you've got phrases that you tell people all the time to help them, to like inspire them, to like get them past a point, then that's probably on your list.
Exactly. So things like on the LOP, impossible is an opinion.
Eat dirt.
Eat dirt.
Eat dirt.
Eat dirt. That's kind of our way of saying, if you're crazy, that's cool with us.
You'll probably fit right in. Because we're pretty crazy too.
Yeah. It's like our way of saying it's okay if you're unique. Come on, this is a place for unique people.
Right.
For unique, creative people. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Another part of our manifesto is if you ate dirt as a kid, that's cool with us. That's our way of saying, in a very personal, meaningful way, there's no judgment.
Right.
Because here's the contrast, yeah? Like how many people have worked at a business that has like all their values up on the wall and stuff and their mission statement, and it's just a big wank, man. It means absolutely dick all.
No, if people can't recite it, if they don't remember it, or if they've only ever seen it once before in their induction into the company, then it's not relevant.
That's right. That's right. So it's got to be personal to you. If we said no judgment, the samurai would get that, but is that like really connecting? If you ate dirt as a kid, that's okay with us, connects so much more.
Right.
Doesn't it?
Right.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
You know, I think about samurai like Karen, right? I think about a samurai like Karen. One of her things is stop the looper effect. Those are words meaningful to her, meaning, you know, generation after generation of families and people that did the same thing and it wasn't functional.
Right.
That's one of the things that she stands for.
Yeah.
Some people might call it the ripple effect. Her words are the looper effect.
Yeah.
So use those words
Yeah.
because they're personal and they mean something. Same as eat dirt means something.
Mm.
Impossible is an opinion.
Like we even have like the other thing is that it doesn't have to be a phrase, right? Like we do things like we use words like hustle and add value.
Yeah.
Add value.
Add value. What else you got there, Matt Kelly?
I've got a list here, Dave. Care, right? Like, I feel like that's something that's so important to us. It's like, man, if we didn't give a crap, we wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah. Give a crap.
And everyone knows that, right? I've got be adventurous. Drink tea. It's good.
Drink tea.
We've got...
A bit quirky, isn't it? But you know what else? Drink tea also indicates health.
Oh, that's
So
what it's based from, yeah.
You're going to market with your sign and it says drink tea, right?
Mm.
It says that, yeah, this is a healthy place.
Right.
What else you got? What else you got there?
I've got... There's always a way.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, very
that
much,
works.
mate. Very much around the impossible is an opinion mentality, right? There is always a way. Be creative, innovate, model the best.
If you want to be the best, learn from the best.
Yeah, there's some of ours. Right? What else have you got, Dave? They're like...
I have. That's a great summary. That's a great summary. I had a fantastic. Oh, immediately.
Immediately. If you're gonna do it now.
Immediately. Right? These are all the catchphrases of the LOP. This is the spirit of the LOP. Yeah. Right? This is the samurai movement. This is what the samurai stands for.
Yeah.
And dude, do you know how many times I get emails and texts and messages from people in our community and people like clients that I coach, and they use these exact words?
Man, we haven't even mentioned the samurai and the sloth.
Or what about this? Yeah!
I've seen that used multiple times in the Samurai Lounge.
What about boom?
Boom.
How many times is boom? Boom!
So here's what's interesting, Dave. Like, we use these words so much in the podcast and also in the writing that they really set the tone of the brand. So now, if I'm writing an email to someone from the email address matt@livingoutrageously.com, I have to put these words in the email. Like, I have to. I can't, no one's ever gotten an email from Matt@livingoutrageously that says, "Good morning, so-and-so. It was a pleasure meeting you last Saturday. I wish that we can have further conversations. Kind regards, Matt." No, hell no. Like, you cannot have an email address at Living Outrageously and have that be the body of the email.
Do you know the structure of the emails that I write to my clients? It goes like this. It's like, "Hey man, what's up?
Yeah.
So awesome to hear that you did this.
Yeah.
Good on you. That is freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
All the best. Have an outrageous weekend, Dave."
Yeah.
That's how I write my emails. It's real. It's part of the brand.
And
It's
that's,
what
and,
I
that's, and that's the value in this, Dave, because when people get an email like that, you stand out. And that's what we're talking about today, is standing out and having a personality. And not just your own personality, but your brand's personality. So that when you do illustrate your tone of voice, it actually matters to people. That's what this is about.
That's right. Oh, dude, this is really good.
It's such good content because it's so powerful to actually go through these exercises.
Because what we're really doing here is we're breaking down the structure of how to create a movement. And dude, this is exciting because the next episode...
You're right, Dave, you're right.
We're talking... I am. What we're talking about here is what do you stand for?
Yeah.
Next episode, we're going to look at creating ideas worth fighting for.
Yeah.
Dude, awesome. This is how you create a culture. This is how you create a mission. This is how you create a movement.
Yeah.
Write down everything that you believe, everything that you say, everything that is important to you. Make it real. Make it really, really real. And go for at least a page. Maybe 2 pages.
Yeah.
Write everything down. That's the first step. Second step, Matt Kelly.
Let's do it.
Take it away.
Let's do it. Okay, so the second step here is once you've written that list of things, and you've got this epic list of things where every time you look at it, you get excited, right? Like, I get excited when I read these words. Of course I do. This is what we stand for, right?
When you do it.
Man, totally. Because guess what? If you don't get that, then that's like then we're not supposed to be talking right now. So for me, like these are the words I stand for, right? So when I've got that list, I print it out, right? And I put copies in a couple of key places. 1, mirror in the bathroom, right? 2, outside of the shower, like as in on the outside, if you've got a glass wall, bingo. In my car, right? And then finally, I would also frequently like write these on post-it notes and have them like stuck around my laptop. So when I'm sitting at my desk, it's like boom, impossible is an opinion. So next time I'm looking at that difficult email, it's like, well, if impossible is an opinion, then there's not too many reasons why this isn't going to work. I might as well just go and do it now.
I love that. And the reason why we're putting it all in front of us is because we've spoken about this in previous episodes. Our brain has this thing called the RAS, the reticular activating system, which allows us to focus on what we want and then we get it. So if we're focusing on all these great ideas, this is who we become. It becomes part of us.
Yeah.
Focus on the ideas. Imagine if you woke up every day and all you had was your shit and you can't do it.
Yeah.
That's not sending you in the right direction. So what this does is allow you the more you see it, the more it becomes real. It's like the Australian gold medalists in the beach volleyball at the 2000 Sydney Olympics.
Yeah.
They painted their house in the preparation for the Olympics. They painted their house gold.
Yeah.
The whole inside of their house gold. They got rid of all clothing that was not gold. They even changed their pens to gold. And then they won gold.
Of course they did. How could they not?
Makes sense. Right? This is what I'm talking about. Put it everywhere. Love it, Matt Kelly.
Dave, give us number 3. Give us number 3.
Okay, so number 3, once you know what you stand for, it's to go to market and connect with like-minded people and talk to people about what you believe.
Right.
You know, when you're in a conversation, because this is you opting in or opting out of your own journey. If you opt out, you'll be at that barbecue or that social occasion, and there'll be like a topic going around the group, and you'll be like, in your head, you're like, I really should say something, but I'm not confident. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to stir the pot. I really stand for that, but... So you're opting out of your own journey at that point.
Yeah. Because
you know what you stand for, but you're not standing up for it. And we're going to look at the reasons why that's the case in just a second. As opposed to going, you know what? Actually, I think you're just making excuses. What if you looked at it this way? And then offer the person a couple of different choices about how they might be able to move forward. That's taking responsibility. That's being a man. That's being a woman. That's being a contributor to society.
Right.
Do you opt in or do you opt out? So connect with like-minded people, which means at every opportunity, share your beliefs. It might be shoot a video. It might be just speak up. It's about having an opinion. Have an opinion. That's part of the LOP is have an opinion.
Yeah.
Do you like it or do you not like it? Again, it's like sitting on the fence or not sitting on the fence. Are you in or are you out? Is now the time or is now not the time? And this is a trait of some of the most successful people in the world. You go to Branson and say, Branson, I've got this for you. He's going to go, either, yes, love that, I'm in, let's do it now, or, no, not right now, thank you.
Branson is never vanilla. Branson makes a decision and he sticks to it.
It's never vanilla.
Yeah.
Coconut water is so much better. Oh, just a tiny little slurp there, Matt Kelly.
No, mate, I'm enjoying my water too. It's all good. Mine's not coconut,
Awesome.
but it is water.
Awesome. How are we doing, man? How are we doing?
Good. No, this is great, man. So should I hit you with step 4?
Yeah. Hit me with step 4.
Okay, so step 4 is, so you've worked out what you stand for. You've worked out all of these ideals, all of these thoughts that you have, the quotes that you say. You've put them in all these places around you, okay? So you've put them in your car, at home, everywhere you look regularly, you can see them, right? This is great for the whiteboard, okay?
Yeah.
You've taken it to market so that when you're actually in a situation, when you're around people, you're using these phrases and you're connecting with people. And those who you don't feel a bond with, that's okay. You're able to walk away from that. But those that do will understand who you are and what you stand for, okay? The final step, the 4th step to this whole process is what I'm calling review and revise. And by that, what I mean by that is,
I like it.
yeah, like at no point do I think anyone should turn around and like rip it apart and say, no, that was all wrong, it's stupid, it's bad, whatever. But every, I would say, month, 2 months, 3 months, as you have new experiences, as you open yourself up to seeing new things, learning new things, right, you're going to work out what else you stand for. And as you learn those things, they should be added to the list. And they should be added throughout the list, slot them in so that it makes sense, right? But as when I threw myself out here into San Francisco, Dave, right, I learned a lot about me and a lot about what I thought. And if I didn't take those insights on board and add those to my list, then when I leave San Francisco, when that is, right, like they're not relevant. I'm still the old person I used to be. And that's not who I am now, because I've learned so much and I've had so many epic experiences. So for me, it's about reviewing this list every now and then and adding to it and getting super relevant based on the person I am now, because that's what matters.
Love it. Because when you arrived at San Fran and you're like meeting everyone, I bet you everyone's like, ooh, who's this Aussie guy?
Right.
Who's this Aussie? His name's Matt the freaking Kelly?
Right.
Who is this guy? They want to know what you stand for.
Yeah.
So how many times in the last, like, however long you've been there, have you got up and done presentations for people? It's been a number of times.
A number of times.
And they're like, what do you stand for? What do you stand for? And you're like, well, living outrageously, outsourcing with confidence, entrepreneur's guide too. Boom,
Right.
boom, 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 boom. And that's why people are in love with you.
Right.
Right? That's why. Imagine if you hadn't got up there.
Oh,
And said what I stand for.
Like that's,
What would have happened? Off to the mailroom, Matt Kelly. Off to the mailroom.
Right. Like,
I don't know.
I please go and get
would
my
that
coffee.
Yeah. And the contrast is, because you stood for something, right, now you've got a private chef making you kale.
Right.
Right? So stand for something, you get a private chef cooking you kale. Don't stand for something, go make coffee and be in the mailroom.
Yeah. That's literally, that is the recipe. That is what you will get. It is either one of those two things. Which would you prefer?
Man, that is exceptional. I love that distinction. That's a really high quality distinction for samurai here, because that's what's at stake.
Right.
That's what's at stake, is the outrageousness of a private chef, that cooks you kale,
Right.
which is a product that you had never previously heard of, which is outrageous in itself.
Yes.
Let alone the health benefits of that.
Right.
That's just a whole ball of outrageous because you stood for something.
Right.
Because you had a presentation, you're like, hey, this is what I stand for. And then there's a whole heap of samurai backing you up, like. So Matt Kelly, that just about wraps up this podcast where we've really gone into depth in what do you stand for and how do you a process for how you get that out. Right. Now, let's get down to a quick tip. I've got a great quick tip that really relates to how you stand for something. So you were saying, that go put it on like the mirror or like in your shower or on your computer or something.
Right.
My quick tip is find out the message that you stand for, right, through the process that we described, and then go and get a shirt printed up that says that message. Just like...
Right.
Are you living outrageously?
And Dave, it's not hard to do that. It's really not hard.
What, it's like $20-$30 or something on Cafe Press or
Cafe
something
Press,
like that?
Spreadshirt. There's so many websites where you can go and create your own message on your shirt. I know the Samurai already do it, Dave, and there's no reason why you shouldn't do it.
If you're serious about what you stand for. And it can even be subtle, man. It can even just be like a little thing on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Go do that. What's your quick tip, Matt Kelly?
Here's one for you, Dave. I've got... In fact, I almost don't want to say this because I'll wear it in another episode, but I've got new shirts coming.
Oh, what do you mean?
So, now I'm going to tell you something in code, and you have to understand what I mean, because you'll know, but I don't want to reveal it to Samurai just yet.
Okay.
Does the word jive turkey ring a bell?
Oh, what?
Yes.
It's happening?
It's happening. It is happening.
Oh, you could have a shirt with a flaming turkey.
Oh, and more. And just all I can say is stay tuned, viewers. It's going to be epic.
Okay, so am I hearing you right, Matt Kelly? Your quick tip was you basically said to the viewers, jive turkey.
That's not my quick tip.
Oh, right.
No, that's my... No, I said it's just in relation to your quick tip.
Oh, okay.
That's a pretty evil quick tip. All I said was the phrase jive turkey.
Anyway, what... Why are tripping me out, man? That's an open loop. That's awesome.
All right.
It's like one of the Hollywood stories that doesn't finish.
Right.
Ooh,
stay tuned, right? So here's my quick tip. We were talking earlier, Dave, about how epic Viber is, the app Viber.
Yeah.
I'm over here in the US, you're in Melbourne, yet we can call each other at no cost, which is pretty ridiculous. So I wanted to say, here's a few other apps that I'm enjoying right now that are social driven, right? We've talked about every episode is around connection and being with people and connecting with, even today, like-minded people, right? Going out there and finding your tribe and sharing that message with the right people. Here's some apps that I'm liking right now. There's one called Povio. Povio. Very, no one's using it yet, Dave, and that's what I'm excited about it. The idea is it's a social network kind of like Instagram, but it's based around your point of view. So if you and I both have the app installed, I can ping you, okay? And it's basically show me your point of view right now. So you'll take a photo of whatever you're looking at right now and share it. And I'll tell you what I like about it. It's one of the most authentic, genuine, more genuine social networks, because it's not me going and finding the most epic photo in the world and then only sharing that when... at the optimal time to get the most number of likes. It's like, no, a friend asked for it is what I'm actually seeing right now, and it's hard to fake that. So, Povio is an interesting one that I'm watching, and I think it'll do pretty well. So, just a little sneaky quick tip, viewers who have an iPhone, go and check it out. Povio. It's an interesting one, and I think we'll all be using it in the short term. So, yeah.
Awesome, dude, that's really cool, because, imagine, I'm out in the boat or something, and I'm like, oh, Matt Kelly, look, I'm just looking at this island, and you're in San Francisco, and it's foggy.
Right.
And, or, you're about to eat a delicious Tex-Mex burrito with extra guacamole.
Right.
And you're like, Dave, it's got extra guacamole.
Right.
I love it.
It's a very cool app. It's a very cool app.
Awesome, dude. Well, that is just about a wrap.
Yeah, so Dave, let's face it, man. Next episode, Like,
oh yes.
this is gonna be amazing because so today we talked about standing for something, right? And we went through the steps to basically develop your own individualized brand. But Dave, there's a challenge when you develop your individualized brand, and that challenge is that you're actually calling yourself out. You're like, this is who I am. Like, stand up straight and like this is who I am. Guess what? There will be people that won't like that, and they'll reject it, Dave.
Oh, yeah. So next episode, Matt Kelly, is all about the steps and the process for how to deal with rejection when you go to stand out.
Right.
Dude, we are just looking after the samurai like they're our homeboys and girls.
And they are.
They are. They're our posse, man. They're our posse.
Right.
We know exactly what's going on for the samurai. This is going to be such a great episode. It's going to lift the lid on the code. We keep talking about the code this season. The code behind the human behaviour.
Right.
It's going to be fantastic, Matt Kelly. And can I just say that your internet connection right now is just fabulous. So
well, that's funny because yours is just terrible. So hopefully we can work this out for future episodes.
All right, dude. Rock and roll. Have you got anything more to say?
I've got nothing else, Dave. Samurai, thank you.
There is nothing else left to say, but if you want a boring life, go sit in a cubicle. My name's Dave Thompson, that's Matt the freaking man Kelly, and we will catch you on the other side.
Peace out, everyone.